Good morning, Year 5. It's Mrs. Mehebi here, and I will be with you this week to do your reading. And as it's Monday, we will be doing book talk today. This goes with your brand new narrative, The Greatest Showman. And what I'm going to ask you to do first, before we even get into the reading, is, if possible, to view this song on YouTube. So the address for the song's there if you want to type it in. If not, if you search on YouTube for The Greatest Showman and type in From Now On. So Greatest Showman From Now On, and watch the song. After you've watched it, come back to this video and we will look at the book talk. Okay, welcome back. So you should have just watched The Greatest Showman From Now On song. This text links to it. This is just the first paragraph that we are going to book talk and annotate together. Okay, and it's called From Now On. So even from the title, I'm going to have a look about From Now On. What does that make me think? From now on. So we're maybe starting afresh. Something's going to happen from now. Okay, we're forgetting the past. This is a new beginning. Then we've got quotation marks here for the first part. So I know it's someone speaking or thinking. A man learns who is there for him when the glitter fades and the walls won't hold. Okay, so that's interesting. When the glitter fades, I'm wondering, what does the glitter mean? What does it represent? Could it be wealth? Could it be fame and fortune? And the glitter's fading. So if something fades, it becomes less bright. It's disappearing. So has this fame or fortune or wealth vanished? Has something happened to stop it? And the walls won't hold. So if the walls of a house don't hold, everything crumbles in. A man who learns who is there for him when the glitter fades and the walls won't hold. So that to me is telling me this man's learning who's there for him when everything's going wrong. He learns who his true friends are, perhaps. Barnum whispered, blinking back his ever-threatening tears. That tells me he's trying very hard not to cry. He's feeling low, he's feeling sad and depressed. Something bad's clearly happened, but he's trying hard not to cry. Because from that rubble, what remains can only be what's true. So he's reflecting on this situation, what's happened. From that rubble, from the ruins, what remains can only be what's true. So that rubble makes me think of a collapsed building and everything's in ruin, but some things remain, and that can only be what's true. So maybe this man's getting some hope now. Looking up, Barnum's furrowed brow seemed to melt away. So that furrowed brow makes me think he's got a worried expression on his face. It seems to melt away. Something melts away, it disappears. And he slowly began to nod as he looked around his devoted troop. So that's making me wonder, who are these troop? Why are they so devoted to him? Are these his loyal friends who are there for him when everything has gone wrong? If all was lost, there's more I gain, because it led me back to you, he continued delicately. Okay, continued delicately, he's talking perhaps a little bit softly there. And he's reflecting, if all was lost, there's more I gain, because it led me back to you. He's seeing the positives of a bad situation. If we have a look at this part now, this is a part that I've annotated. So I put from now on, he's starting fresh, he's forgetting the past. We've talked about him feeling low and sad and depressed. And maybe he's learned who his true friends really are. And then I've put a bit about the glitter. Does it mean fame? Does it mean wealth? And who are these people that are devoted and very loyal to him? Why are they so loyal? And that little bit about him talking softly. Right, if you go onto the website, you will be able to download the whole extract. And your job for reading today for book talk, you can either annotate the same part that I've just annotated it, or you might choose a different section. I'm just going to read the rest to you now, and then I will let you decide. So we're on this part here. Standing slowly, Barnum made his way through the parted performers as they watched on, heartbroken. Some had eyes transfixed onto the floor, while others' heads were locked in their still shaking hands as they embraced one another sympathetically. I drank champagne with kings and queens, and the politicians praised my name, Barnum sang, growing in confidence with each word, whilst walking along the dark, picture-lined corridors. Stopping in front of a newspaper article of the captivating Jenny Lind, Barnum sighed heavily and remorsefully shook his head. Further along the corridor, Barnum's breath was stolen by his beautiful wife and children. So that might be a bit that you might want to do some book talk about. His breath was stolen. He gazed. So they were not putting, he looked into their eyes. He gazed into their eyes and thought where they may be. So his family clearly aren't with him right now. Without barely having replaced the Barnum family portrait back on the wall, he quickly turned on his heel and walked, stronger now, through his captivated company. Raising his brimming glass in the air, he signalled for them all to be given a drink. So this is where the situation, perhaps now, the atmosphere in this story is changing, so you might want to book talk about how. Within a heartbeat, the room has exploded into a hive of activity. Dancers, whose hope for the future had all but faded, flailed dramatically from pillar to post. Stools were upturned and spun on their legs. Gymnasts flipped backwards, landing seamlessly every time. People and drinks were thrown from one end of the bar to the other. And a roaring chorus of cheers and songs reverberated between the antiquated walls of the bar's parameters. Barnum, whose life had seemed all but over, beamed. Perhaps, after all, he could pick himself up and get the troupe back to performing. Standing still for a split second, Barnum's eyes were drawn once more across the action-packed, pulsating room to his precious family portrait. Immediately detecting the sadness in Barnum's heart as his broad shoulders fell and he subconsciously froze, Letty Lutz handed him his coat. Without another moment's thought, Barnum burst through the exploding bar's doors and began fiercely sprinting for the next train out of his still smoking city. So if you chose that last paragraph, where's he going? What do the clues show us about where he might be going? Right, I will be back tomorrow. There are lots and lots of vocabulary parts in here that we could explore. So we'll look at the book talk today, and then tomorrow we will come back and have a look at the vocabulary.